Are you a pro when it comes to planning your Walt Disney World trip? Or are you new and you don't know where to start? This video here will show you how to stay away from specific mistakes that we as travel agents see all the time at Walt Disney World. All right, stay tuned. Planning a trip to Walt Disney World takes a lot of planning and thought, right? That's why you're using a travel agent, right? So even the best thought out plans can have bumps in the road. I mean, really, any vacation can have bumps in the road. So I have written down and made note of 8 mistakes that we as travel agents notice when we are at the parks. So here they are. And let's get to it. All right, so the first one is not reserving a table at a sit-down restaurant. So these fill up really fast, and you have 60 days at Walt Disney World to reserve your table. You need to be on it for those 60 days, at that 60-day mark. Certain restaurants like Be Our Guest and Cinderella's Royal Table, Chef Mickey's, they are really hard to get. So if you're not on it at that 60-day mark for when you want your reservation, there's going to be a high chance that you're not going to get that reservation. It gets really hard. Reservations for those table services are needed. Okay, so make those reservations. Make a note on your calendar for your 60-day mark out for when you need to make your reservation and get that done there. Okay, so number 2 is not mobile ordering. So if you're going to use quick service, the mobile ordering is very convenient. I mean, I really can't express enough how convenient it is. It's really convenient for you, especially when you got kids and you're sitting there. It's also super convenient for the cast members because they have so many people they're trying to serve a day, right? And cast members are the main reason why Disney is as magical as it is, because they're magical. Their personalities are great. The way they handle us as customers and clients are great, right? So we can do whatever we can do to help them and help us. Mobile ordering in whole is great for everybody. You order on your phone, you pay on your phone, so it's contactless payment, and you go in and grab it. That's it. So it's really great and really easy. All right, the next mistake is not budgeting in advance. Impulse buying at Walt Disney World will get you into a world of trouble, and you will get home and look at your credit card or debit card, whatever it is you use, and be like, shit. So don't be that and plan for it. For souvenirs and impulse buying, we usually do a budget for those on gift cards. And then we gift our children with gift cards and money that they're allowed to use. You're allowed to use this gift card. When you run out, you have run out. And it gives them the freedom to buy whatever. But then you also let them know when they ask you, can I buy this toy? And it's like, you can. But like, that toy is this much, you only have this much. That's going to be the only thing you get to get. And everybody uses their gift card. So it teaches them a little something, which of course you don't have to teach on vacation, right? But then it just makes life easier, and then you're budgeted. But yeah, not budgeting for a Walt Disney World trip for the food and the souvenirs and whatever else is dangerous to your bank account. Okay. So the next mistake, and we're just gonna move right through these, is what we're just gonna do. All right, so overpacking. You don't need 4 pairs of shoes. You don't need 2 ears each day. You just need 1 set of fabulous ears per day. I mean, unless you have the room for it, then go ahead and pack them. I have a Walt Disney World packing list, and I will put the link below where you can download it for free and enjoy that packing list for your next Walt Disney World trip. But I always set my children with their packing list, and I use note cards. So I put on note cards, and I put them what they're supposed to pack, and they go and pack it. Of course, my big girls are 10 and 8, but they go and they pack how many pairs of underwear, how many pairs of socks. But yeah, I just use something as simple as note cards and put it on there and they're good to go. And of course, their ears, they have a few sets of ears they're allowed to bring, depending on our stay. I usually let them bring like 2 pairs of ears. It depends. My older daughter is very minimal and relaxed, and she'll bring her one set of ears and be happy. My middle child, if I let her go, she would bring 20 pairs of ears and she would definitely overpack. It would be crazy. So overpacking gets stressful, and it just makes for clutter in your hotel room. You just don't need to do it. All right. So over planning. This is such a delicate balance when it comes to Disney, because there's so much to do and you want to see so much, but you don't want to overdo it. You want to make sure that you have time for hiccups, because hiccups arise, especially if you're traveling with kids. Hiccups come up. This is where a travel planner really comes in handy. You want to make sure you make time for resting. Your kids are going to need time to rest. You're going to need time to rest, and it's going to keep everybody a little more relaxed, because you don't want to get stressed out. You don't want your kids to get stressed out. And essentially, you want to have a good time. So over planning to the T will put stress on you and stress on the kids. And it's just, in my opinion, not necessary. You have your Genie on the app. Genie is going to help you out a lot. And you have your Lightning Lane and Genie Plus if you purchase those, and those are going to help you out a lot. And if you have a travel agent, they're going to help you out a lot. All right. So moving on, we got ignoring the forecast. I mean, we do this all the time. I've done this before. I've done this all the time. Our last trip, we had our ponchos. I had my rain cover for my stroller, and I brought them every single day, because you could never tell with Florida. Sometimes they just have their afternoon spurt. It was dry the entire time. Our last day, I was like, I'm done. Just leave the crap here. We don't need it. It poured. Absolutely poured. Absolutely poured. I was like, my husband was like, we didn't need them, did we? And I'm like, yeah, my bad. So even, I make the mistakes myself, which is some of these mistakes I have made and learned through making these mistakes, and was like, oh, this is definitely, we shouldn't do this again. It's like, no. So watch the weather. Check your weather. You're going to have rain most days in Florida in the summertime, but a shower here or there, I wouldn't bring my poncho and all of my rain gear for like a 10-minute shower. Really, I would just walk through it and just get wet, and then you'll dry very shortly after, right? So that being said, I would not recommend a white t-shirt at the parks, especially on like a rainy day. I also learned that through experience. I had a white tank top on, and we were actually at SeaWorld, and it downpoured while we were on this ride. I was absolutely soaked, and I had to go buy a Cookie Monster t-shirt because we were in the Sesame area, and it was horrible. So don't wear a white t-shirt, white tank top. You do risk the chance of getting horribly soaked as a woman, and it gets interesting. Okay. And then you will have to impulse buy a new shirt. Or you walk around like that and you call it a day. I guess different strokes for different folks. Okay. So moving on is visiting at the wrong time. So this is different because it's also the wrong time for you, right? If you don't mind the crowds and you're in there and you're used to it and hustle and bustle, then by all means, it really doesn't matter when you go, right? Because you're going to enjoy, you're fine with the crowds. Some people don't like the crowds. If you don't like the crowds, weekends, spring breaks, holidays, those times are really, really busy for Walt Disney World. There was actually a couple years ago, of course, before COVID, they had to shut down. They had to stop letting people in on New Year's because they reached park capacity, which is quite a bit. I've pretty much the only time I've ever noticed them ever do that. So those are times where crowds are really big, and you're going to have to fight your way through crowds. If a travel planner will help you gauge the crowds and what's a good time to go and what's not a good time to go, and it'll be a better experience for you if you don't like the crowds. All right, so the final mistake is wearing the wrong shoes. This is rough. And I have a child who has sensitive feet. She has to have shoes broken in, or she will have painful feet. Wearing shoes that are broken in and comfy is your best bet when walking around Disney World. You walk miles upon miles upon miles a day. It is a lot of walking. So make sure you bring a pair of shoes that are for walking and comfortable and broken in. Do not go breaking in a pair of shoes at Disney. You will be uncomfortable. And feet pain, once it's already set in, is quite uncomfortable and lasts a long time. So there you go. Those are the most often mistakes that travel agents see at Walt Disney World. Don't forget, I will put the link below for the Walt Disney World packing list that you can download for free and use it for your next trip. I hope that your next trip is magical and wonderful. I hope you learned something from this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like my video and follow me for more tips on Disney and just traveling with kids and room tours. All right. Have a magical vacation. See ya.